Roaming scam artists are on the loose, and you could be their next target.
Coming up next, KOMO investigators uncover an insurance scheme that could end up costing you twice.
For the second straight night, a jetliner slides off the runway in snowy Cleveland.
And a massive refinery fire burns into the night. KOMO News 4 is just ahead.
At QFC's bakery, you'll find incredible variety. Lots of different breads, donuts, cakes, all baked fresh every day. How do they do it? They don't. They go to the experts. QFC gets donuts from bakers who specialize in donuts, sourdough bread from sourdough bread experts, and cakes from people famous for making cakes. Then it's all delivered to QFC fresh every morning. Could I have one of those? You know it's gonna be good at QFC.
The new band leader's 3-hour practices were really getting in the way of our family eating together.
Come on! Kiss the dirt, kids!
But I managed to convince him to go back to the old schedule.
You get them to the table, we'll cook. Your choice of entree, 3 sides, cornbread, and a whole apple pie. The $14.99 Market Feast, only at Boston Market.
Don't mess with dinner.
And let Boston Market prepare your Thanksgiving dinner, too. Stop by today to place your order.
What do you like about Eagle?
I can get what I need when I come here. You know, before this store opened, I used to have to stop at 2 or 3 places to get what I needed. Now I just come here and I pretty much get everything.
You can take the kids around for a stroll?
Yeah, the aisles are pretty big, so they kind of don't get a chance to grab at anything.
Hey, you're babysitting the kids. You're down at Eagle Hardware working on the home improvements. You're every woman's dream, Willie.
What can I tell you? But I'm married.
Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything. Protect your tools with rugged toolboxes from Stack-On. Sizes and styles for every do-it-yourselfer. Stack-On at Eagle. You're watching KOMO TV 4 in Seattle. Now, KOMO News 4.
I thought everything would be fine, just call an insurance company and...
His truck's wrecked. He needs his insurance company to come through. But his policy's worthless. He's been had, ripped off by a phantom company.
How legitimate are these guys?
They just aren't. They just flat aren't.
Good evening, everyone. KOMO News 4 has learned of a slick insurance scam that could leave you in a financial bind.
Every night this week, we're putting you on Scam Alert. Tonight, KOMO's Connie Thompson starts with a car insurance scheme that could end up wrecking your bank account.
This story begins with one of the highlights in a teenager's life, having a driver's license and your own set of wheels. 18-year-old Shirzad Tamshuri got them both for his birthday just a month ago, and he was on cloud 9.
Oh, good. I felt great.
And then it happened, the accident. About $2,000 damage to the truck and major damage to the other vehicle.
I thought everything would be fine, just call an insurance company and get my truck fixed up.
Or so he thought. Just a few days before the accident, in fact, just minutes after Shirzad got his driver's license here in Bellevue, he and his dad were approached by 2 very impressive insurance salesmen working out of a mobile insurance office.
They just said we could give you great insurance.
They had a desk, typewriter, computer, some folders.
They even had professional-looking logos on the sides of their doors, and their paperwork said Farmers Insurance. So they bought it. 6 months coverage for $250.
They gave us a slip that said Farmers Insurance on it, a receipt. Everything was legitimate, looked pretty good to me.
But when they called Farmers to file a claim, they learned they'd been ripped off. In a way, Farmers Insurance was ripped off too, because the salesman did not work for Farmers.
Oh yeah, I thought these guys were pretty good.
Bellevue Police Detective Gary Forrest has notified local police and insurance officials to be on the lookout for at least 2 smooth operators posing as insurance reps.
They do not up front offer you a policy. They tell you it's going to come in the mail at a later date. The later date comes and goes.
The bogus documents are now evidence in a fraud case. Shirzad can't drive his truck till he gets money for the repairs and valid insurance. And his dad's worried about other victims. He says the scam is so convincing, even the insurance commissioner might be fooled.
Anybody would have. So I am pretty sure we are not the only one. There are other people driving with confidence, and they're going to learn the hard way.
Connie Thompson, KOMO News 4.
Well, the big lesson here, if you need insurance, you make the call. Don't give your money to a stranger who approaches you on the street. Deal with an established company, and if you have any questions, check with the State Insurance Commissioner's office in Olympia. If you're not positive about your current coverage, use the phone book to contact the company your policy is supposed to be with. We are on Scam Alert again tomorrow night at 11 with a warning about college scholarships. We'll show you how to tell what's bogus and what's for real. If you know about a possible scam that we should look into, call our toll-free tip line, 1-TV-TIPS-KOMO. Please make sure to leave us all the information you can, including your phone number, so we can call you back. Or you can send us email through our webpage at www.komotv.com or send it to tips@komonews4.com.
A frightening landing tonight for passengers headed to winter-ravaged Cleveland. A Delta Airlines MD-80 skidded off the runway there tonight because of all the snow and ice. Same thing happened last night to an American Airlines jet. No one was hurt in either landing. By tomorrow morning, there could be another 20 inches of snow in Cleveland. It's coming down in big flakes and bringing down power poles, too. Tens of thousands of people are without electricity there. People are lighting candles and snuggling under blankets to keep warm. 2 feet of snow are already on the ground here.
No power, no heat. So, a little bit of pre-World War I living.
The forecast isn't so foreboding in Jamestown, New York. There's just 5 to 8 inches of snow here, enough to be a little inconvenient. The snowstorm is blamed, though, for at least 9 deaths, 8 in Michigan and 1 in Ohio, most of them from traffic accidents. So far, the major airlines tell us those weather problems are not causing trouble for travelers at SeaTac. We're told if you do encounter a delay, it'll most likely be in a hub airport like Denver. But you should get out of SeaTac on time. In fact, if you're expecting a flight in from the Midwest or East, no major delays are reported yet, but you probably want to check with the airline just in case.
We now know what caused a major gasoline fire still burning in Mexico tonight. Investigators say a faulty valve set off 2 storage tanks holding more than 4.5 million gallons of gas. At least 11 people were hurt when the explosion rocked the storage complex today. 3 of the injured are firefighters. 12 years ago, several explosions ripped through the same place, killing more than 500 people. Earlier, authorities reported that 1 firefighter had been killed in today's blast in fire, but they were mistaken. Firefighters are keeping a close eye tonight on this refinery fire in California. It also started with an explosion early today at the Texaco refinery in Wilmington, about 20 miles south of L.A. It's under control now, but firefighters don't know yet what caused this blast. No one was hurt. On the East Coast, people as far as 6 miles away felt the explosion that killed 1 man and leveled a bakery and auto parts store. It happened in Manchester, Connecticut. Firefighters say the owner of the bakery was inside at the time and survived the initial blast, but intense flames kept them from rescuing him. The bakery had gas ovens, but investigators are not sure if that's what blew up.
In Medford, Oregon, you can call it the big copper caper. Thousands and thousands of pennies that a 5th grade class had been saving have been stolen. The children attend an alternative school near Medford. For 2 years, they had been saving pennies in big glass jars like this. The thief didn't get all the jars, just 7 of them that were stored in the home of a school board member there, but that's plenty.
So every day we see the pennies accumulate. So there's an incredible disappointment.
That was teacher Christine Leonard. She says her students were trying to stockpile 1 million pennies as part of a math lesson. Leonard says the theft is a lesson that she didn't have planned.
Tonight, police are investigating an extremely unusual death in Snohomish. Police tell us 2 men got into an argument. One hit the other over the head with a bat and left him lying in the street unconscious. Then, a woman came along in her car and ran him over. Police are investigating the case as a homicide, but they are not sure right now what killed the man, the car or the blow to the head.
In Seattle tonight, parents from Kirkland are hoping that a very public plea will help police find whoever killed their son. A billboard went up today asking for help from people who may have seen Rigel Jones, who was stabbed to death in Pioneer Square. The billboard stands close to where Jones was attacked 9 months ago. Police still have no solid leads.
I saw a show on TV about a mother who had solved her son's murder by using a billboard. And I remembered seeing this billboard right here where he was murdered.
Our son fought for his life down here, and he didn't give up easily. They pulled him out of his car, whatever, and beat him up, and he fought real hard to save his life.
If you have any information that could lead to an arrest and conviction, there's a $10,000 reward. You can call Seattle Police with any tips. The Army's sex abuse scandal might be growing. According to the Pentagon, charges may be filed tomorrow against several male soldiers for sexual misconduct at a second base, this one in Missouri. 3 military trainers at a base in Maryland already face charges ranging from rape to harassment. Over the weekend, the Army set up a special phone bank asking for tips on unwanted sexual conduct. So far, they've received 250 tips, strong enough to pass on to prosecutors.
Well, that investigation did not and could not overshadow the fact that this is a day to honor so many in our military as the country paused to say thanks to all those who fought to keep us free. It's Veterans Day. At one ceremony in Western Washington, several hundred people gathered at the State Soldiers' Home in Ording. They sang in salute to those who lost their lives, limbs, or mobility in war. They remembered wars that many have forgotten and prayed for those vets who now call the streets home. But mostly, they remembered those who never did make it back. At Arlington National Cemetery, President Clinton laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns. He offered the nation's thanks to veterans, then promised to do more to understand the Gulf War syndrome that might have sickened thousands of soldiers. He also spoke words of thanks to Bob Dole for his sacrifices in World War II. But the most moving ceremony came at the Vietnam Memorial. Kim Phuc, who was 9 years old in this famous photograph running after a napalm attack, called for peace.
We cannot change history, but we should try to do good things for the present and for the future to promote peace.
Phuc says she has forgiven the pilot and everybody else responsible for the napalm attack. She now lives in Canada and has a child of her own. We'll know more tomorrow about who might be representing Southwest Washington in Congress following the '96 vote. That's when election workers will count more absentee ballots. Now, incumbent Republican Linda Smith has the lead, but by just a little more than 600 votes over Democrat Brian Baird. Several thousand absentee ballots remain uncounted, so we might not know the winner till next week.
A frightening revelation tonight about the nation's #1 killer, heart disease. After decades of improvement, it's getting worse. The reasons are not really clear, but doctors say trends among young people may be hurting more hearts.
Today, for the first time, we have a generation of young people who are smoking more, are heavier, and who are less physically active than their parents were at the same age.
13 million people are now living with heart disease. About 500,000 are dying from it every year. But federal funding for heart disease research has actually dropped in the last 10 years. The Heart Association is launching a nationwide campaign to pressure the president and Congress for more money for research. There is hope in the fight against another killer. Doctors in Portland are testing a drug that some are calling a sort of vaccine against breast cancer. Though it can't actually prevent breast cancer, it is designed to make the patient's immune system seek out and destroy cancer cells. They're giving the experimental drug to their first patient now, so it may not be widely available for years.
Well, the government might not wait that long to take steps to prevent another outbreak of deadly E. coli bacteria. As reformulated Odwalla fruit juices go back on the shelves, regulators say they might force drink companies to pasteurize all apple juices and possibly other juices. That would kill the bacteria. Apple juice is no longer an ingredient in the 3 Odwalla juices back on store shelves in our area now. The company took the apple juice out of Sirius ginseng, strawberry sea monster, and Mo Beta before reintroducing it following the E. coli scare that sickened dozens of people.
The auto show is coming to the Northwest.
And the Northwest is coming to the auto show. Picture yourself behind the wheel of this. Next, how our rugged lifestyle sets the pace for what the rest of the country will be driving.
Plus, believe it or not, they're preparing for Mount Rainier to blow its top.
The Sonics finally got it right tonight. They played a beautiful game. We've got plenty of highlights for you. And will there be a rematch? Find out what the newest, baddest man on the planet says. Sports is still ahead.
KOMO News 4 is brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Nissan Maruniは全てのメルセデスセダンと同じサスペンションがある。安全機能はよく知ってるな。赤外線ロッキングシステム。お、面白い。カップホルダーか。カップホルダー？うちのはサイダーだね。
Mercedes C-Class, reasonably priced, surprisingly well equipped.
You are not just a label on an X-ray. You are more than a throat culture or a triple bypass. You are a body and soul with physical and emotional needs. The people of Providence Health Plans never forget that. Talk to your employer or insurance agent or call us at 1-800-443-0996. Providence Health Plans.
Count on GTE to help save you money on all your long distance, whether you call across the state or across the country with the GTE Easy Savings Plan. You can save up to 35% a month for an entire year. That equals a rate as low as 9 cents a minute. Sign up now for the GTE Easy Savings Plan by calling 1-800-GTE-3737. GTE. Amazing.
Around here, a lot of cars go dirty for months on end because it rains so much. That can have its advantages, judging by what happened to a man in Nashua, New Hampshire. Greg Bobish was coming off a highway when someone rear-ended him and then took off. His car was so dirty, though, that the other car's license plate actually left an impression. Police used that to track down the hit-and-run driver, who was charged with leaving the scene of an accident and drunk driving, too. You will only find clean cars at the Kingdom, where crews are working round the clock to get ready for the Seattle International Auto Show.
The show starts Wednesday morning. Between now and then, workers have more than 700 displays to set up and even more cars to roll out. As you can see, they have a lot of work ahead of them. Promoters expect even more people to attend than last year's healthy turnout. One thing that could help boost the numbers, a ticket to the show is good for the whole week. One thing you'll notice at the auto show, lots of Seattle style. The Northwest has a big influence on pop culture, as you know, and now we're influencing the auto industry as well. KOMO's Jim Snyder says cars and trucks are looking more Northwest with each new model.
Here we go. Ready? See there, no dirt dents, no dings.
Car makers are pounding the rough and ready theme into our heads. Check out this rig. It comes standard with features you'd expect to see in an REI catalog. A backpack-style console, complete with Gore-Tex cup holders, and water bottles that fit right into the door panels.
It's beautiful.
It's got room for the family up front, plus space for camping gear in back. A winch built right into the bumper, monster tread on the tires, and the dash? It looks like it was made by the people who build Coleman stoves. With its earth tones and rugged look, this truck could be called the Pacific Northwest. Instead, Ford calls it the Adrenaline.
Now, if you're already falling in love with this rig, I'm about to break your heart. You can't buy it yet. It's a concept car. It just gives you a glimpse of what Ford is thinking about for the future.
Here's where Mazda is headed with its pickup line. This one's called the B Extreme.
It's made to capture the extreme sports, the people who are into like the kayaking and the mountain biking, jet skiing.
So the idea is to make it as fun and energetic looking as possible?
Right, to go anywhere that you might want to do sports or just going around town to show that you're into a youthful scene.
Image is everything in these models. This standard kayak rack is like a neon sign that says, "Hey, I'm into the outdoors."
Right here, along with the bed liner, we have a storage compartment for the kayak paddles.
For a lot of people, they like to be in a vehicle that says that I have the potential to go off-road. So I think that's what the QX4 does for a lot of people. $36,400 is what we're looking at as a price right now.
A lot of cash, but then you're getting an Infinity, the ultimate in a luxury off-road vehicle, even though that sounds like a contradiction in terms. Even Cadillac, the car maker known for sleek urban sedans, is making changes for people who like to get out of the city.
The rear seats, they all fold down to increase the mesh. You can easily transport skis.
People who market these cars say customers want an active, outdoorsy look. And since people are willing to pay for that look, car makers are more than happy to deliver. Jim Snyder, KOMO News 4.
The Seattle International Auto Show runs Wednesday through Sunday at the Kingdom. Kids under 12 get in free. Adults pay $7.
The alarm will be going out soon in Orting, but it's only a drill. They're getting ready still for the chance that Mount Rainier might erupt someday. A little town near Mount Rainier is staging a volcano drill on Wednesday. Orting has only one siren, but police want to make sure everyone will be able to hear it. They'll be trying out portable sirens to decide what systems work best and how much it'll cost to set them up. They'd better safe than sorry and be ready.
That's right. It's still the most beautiful mountain, though,
Sure
isn't it?
is.
And is it going to be adding a little snow to it anytime soon?
Well, a little bit. You know, we don't have a whole lot of moisture. All the bad stuff, if you will, is back east, where they're getting the really cold weather and the snow that you heard about earlier in the show. Around here, pretty much November normal, and that would be for some clouds. And it's still pretty mild out there. 51 degrees. We have southwest wind at 4. Barometers on the rise, and our humidity is at 94%. We checked in just a little bit warmer than normal with a high of 54 degrees, although it actually felt a little bit warmer than that. Now we just have a few lingering showers around the area and some that are still working their way into the Puget Sound Basin. You can see just south of Seattle here within the last 10 minutes, we've begun to get an increase in the rainfall, and probably all this stuff will move up as we go along into the night, and everyone will get a little bit more wet. But these are fairly light rain showers, so that's what we'll call it throughout the evening, moving from the south to the north in western Washington. These are your overnight low temperatures. Really not all that cool. The clouds kind of act as an insulator, and we'll go 47 in Seattle. Everett, you'll have 45, and about the same up the road there in Bellingham. Here's what all of this looks like off our coastline. A lot of activity in here, but the air isn't all that cold. The cold stuff is back east. Our higher pressure that gave us our warmer conditions and kept out a lot of the rainfall begun to shift over a little bit. That's going to allow some of the rain to come right up into our back door here, but not all that heavier rainfall, and that would be the forecast then. Mostly cloudy skies, some rain at times, and temperatures fairly mild. 53 Seattle, about the same in Linwood. Tacoma, also 53 tomorrow. Bremerton, 52 degrees. Some areas of fog to start off the day, and pulling to a little bit wider view, you can see the rest of western Washington. Again, the story is similar. Mostly cloudy skies, some light rain at times that will move through the area, and daytime high temperatures. We'll check in the low 50s everywhere else, too. Maybe a little bit warmer down around Olympia and down near Longview. They'll have 55 degrees tomorrow. If you're headed east of the Cascades, fairly calm there. A bit cooler, as you might imagine. Mostly cloudy skies, some areas of fog. High temperatures upper 40s now to the mid-40s over at Wazoo, and 55 in the Tri-Cities. We'll pull all this together for you. Call it scattered showers tonight, 44 to 48 degrees. Kick things off, mostly cloudy, some spot showers. Tomorrow morning, 48 to 52. Your afternoon, it's looking all right, about the same. Showers continue, 52 to 56 degrees. Or let's call it 53 then, since we have to call it something. We'll do about the same on Wednesday. Again, mostly cloudy, light rain showers at times. Should be dry for Thursday. And then Friday, we get a little bit more intensity in here, slightly cooler temperatures, maybe a little breezy too. Again, kind of normal stuff for November. As long as that cold air stays back there, then, you know, we're okay. We're just kind of cruising along here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sure.
College mascots are supposed to do whatever they can to get the crowd into the game.
But one university's top supporter apparently went a little bit too far. Ahead on KOMO News 4, what Bucky the Badger did to deserve this police escort out of the game.
And you've already heard about the Pentagon spending too much for household items, but are they also getting cleaned out when they sell out?
Don't you hate shopping for a new car? It can be excruciating. Even when you finally find a car you love, you wind up battling over the stuff you really want. Airbag, anti-lock brakes, air conditioning. I hate confrontation. That's why I love General Motors value pricing. Everything is already included for one low sticker price. No battles, no hassles. It's the way it ought to be.
Most customers think that Italian clothing is so expensive that it's beyond their affordability. Our Vito Ruffalo line, whether it's in dress suits, sport coats, slacks, or shoes, offers quality Italian fabrication with quality construction. Vito Ruffalo, Italian clothing at prices that men can afford. I guarantee it.
The Men's Warehouse, 11 area stores, including the Supermall in Auburn.
is the party at north 46 degrees, 56 minutes, 143 seconds.
We make the chips that help make it possible to know, within just a few feet, exactly where you are, anywhere on Earth. AMD, at work in your life.
Everybody loves a good bargain, but it may be costing us all a little money. We're talking about military surplus goods that some say the Pentagon can sell for more money. The military has millions of dollars worth of spare stuff, from cameras to combat boots. A lot of it is kept in this warehouse near Washington, D.C., and then sold. Last year, the Pentagon took in $255 million. Some say, though, it can be sold for a lot more, but the government does a poor marketing job by selling to too narrow a clientele.
I'm targeting it to specific buyers who would logically be interested in this.
Some believe the government could make another $200 million with better marketing. The general in charge says he believes in privatizing surplus sales, but not right now because a test comparison doesn't back that up.
Crucial tests are coming up for the seagoing scarecrow nicknamed Fake Willie. Fake Willie is a 16-foot fiberglass orca whale. A local radio station is leading the effort to put it near the Ballard Locks to try to scare away the sea lions that feast on steelhead and salmon. New tests this week will determine if it works well enough to move it to the locks. Bucky Badger is in big trouble tonight. Bucky is the mascot of that other UW, the University of Wisconsin. He got the crowd at the Wisconsin-Minnesota game over the weekend so worked up it looked kind of like a mosh pit. Only problem is Wisconsin law calls that body passing, and it's illegal. They've had serious problems with it in the past. Bucky got a ticket because of that and a $100 fine.
Bucky got a ticket?
Yes, and Bucky got kicked out of the game, too, which is kind of rare.
Bye-bye, Bucky. We all know the Sonics aren't off to the kind of start that they were hoping for.
But they had a chance to get on the right track tonight in Sacramento. And coming up next in sports, Sean Kemp sets a new high mark for the young season, but was it enough?
Mary is 8 months pregnant when it happens. Her car is hit, bursts into flames. She's pulled out just in time. That day, a whole new world opened up for Mary as she realized she had supernatural powers. On the next Northwest afternoon, her husband was shocked when she described a childhood moment even he'd forgotten. And do her powers come into play in her top secret government job?
Northwest Afternoon, tomorrow live at 3 o'clock on KOMO TV 4.
It's sports time with Eric, and it's Sonics time. They're starting to look like the old team.
That's exactly right. Get things all clicking on the radio. They look very good. The Sonics had won a few games this season, but tonight was really the first time we've seen them play their style of basketball on both ends of the court for an entire game, and it looked good. Does this look like a man ready to play basketball? You bet it does. First quarter, Jim McElvain rejects Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Here come the Sonics on the break. Peyton over to Sean. Sean flies in the dunk, and we'd see more of that. Kemp was sizzling. The little fall-away jumper, nice touch. Kemp then spins, hangs, and hits. Then it's Eric Snow to Sean. Sean had 16 points in the first quarter alone. Sonics up by 11 points at half. Third quarter, Hershey Hawkins. They need to start heating up from outside. Hershey did tonight. Cans the tray. Watch the D. Peyton forces the turnover here. And then, all of a sudden, he's clear down court for the layup. How did he do that? Sonics by 18. Then it's Elo. The alley-oop to Kemp. Kemp had 31 on the night. And, hey, this was fun. Peyton with the steal. Ahead to Sean. Sean, a slick little pass to Eric Snow. It was basketball the way it was meant to be played. Sonics win it 110-94. Nice win. Fans in Utah never did see their team play the Spurs tonight. Damage to the Delta Center floor was found to be unsafe, with some sections sticking up 1/8 of an inch higher than the rest. Workers tried to smooth over the rough spots while the teams waited to play, but officials finally called the whole thing off. It's rescheduled for December 15th. Also tonight, the Bulls stay unbeaten. The Nuggets beat the Raptors by 11. Approximately 20 seconds after Evander Holyfield destroyed Mike Tyson Saturday night, the talk of a rematch started up loud and clear. Estimates are that Holyfield could command as much as $35 million to fight Tyson again. Obviously, Tyson would love a rematch. The question is, would Evander?
A rematch talk, March already, the Tyson and you. Might it be that soon? Will you give Mike Tyson a rematch?
If I fight again, most likely, I would give Tyson a rematch. But right now, like I said, I'm still praying and just want to do the right thing.
And if you were hanging around Nike Town tonight, you saw a track and field legend. Michael Johnson, Olympic gold medal winner in the 200 and 400 meters, was on hand to answer questions and sign his new book. He says he will be racing 100-meter gold medalist Donovan Bailey in May. They'll race over a distance of 150 meters. A couple of wins can make a world of difference in a quarterback's future, can it? The Seahawks said today they are no longer interested in signing Jeff George to a long-term contract, but they are interested in signing, guess who? John Freeze for a few more years. Monday Night Football, Detroit at San Diego. Barry Sanders busting it up the middle, his second TD of the game, 14-7 Lions. But the Chargers take the lead on the final play of the first half. Stan Humphries, the Hail Mary pass, and look at this, Andre Coleman hauls it in. Wow. Third quarter now, Humphries to Alfred Pupuno. What a name, Pupuno. Chargers win it 27-21. And the National League Cy Young Award belongs to John Smoltz of the Atlanta Braves. He was 24-8 on the year, and Atlanta Braves pitchers have now won 4 straight Cy Young Awards. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, a feat of strength that would make Charles Atlas go weak in the knees. We're talking about sheer muscle here, strength beyond belief. The play of the night is next.
We've blindfolded cab driver Jim Kroll to prove a point.
Where to?
Hotel Royale. Can you tell a difference between Arco gas and the more expensive brands?
Cab's running great. What kind of gas is this?
It's Arco, Jim. On average, Arco costs less than other major brands.
And that is smooth running gas. 580. Cheapskates.
Arco. The real difference is the price.
What's on your list today?
While Kelly Lee Simoneau is busy shopping, Signa Palmer, her Fred Meyer pharmacist, is taking care to fill her son Jordan's prescription, checking for possible interactions, verifying the dosage with his doctor, so that when Kelly's done shopping, Jordan's prescription will be there waiting.
What's on your list today? You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
What did Coast to Coast Seafood in Kirkland say when they found out GTE's long distance is twice as likely to have an outage?
Holy mackerel.
Don't say yes until you know. Only AT&T guarantees network reliability. AT&T for the life of your business. What did Danielson, Clocks and Jewelers in Redmond say when they found out how GTE came up with those big long-distance savings they promised?
I'm ticked.
Don't say yes until you know. Only AT&T guarantees competitive prices. AT&T for the life of your business.
Mr. Rodeo Grant.
grandma's from Washington Mutual.
Where are you fellas headed?
Headed up north to open up some banks.
Hey, this stage is empty.
Exactly. See, we drive it up here empty, and then take it back down south full.
You all bandits then?
No, ma'am. We're Californians.
Washington Mutual, keeping the Northwest safe for truth, justice, and free checking.
For the play of the night, we've got a fantastic feat of superhuman strength. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. You decide. This is Stanley Pleskin. He calls himself Stainless Steel. His feat of strength to stop 2 Cessna airplanes from taking off with just his bare arms. Each plane had a 165 horsepower engine. And look at Stanley. He's hanging on. Those 2 airplanes are rendered powerless by this Herculean effort. What a feat. What a man. What a play of the night. What a crock. I'm not sure I buy the whole thing. I don't think that he even looked that strong to me. Does he?
I don't even think of it.
Well, and the planes looked like they were facing the wrong way, so they couldn't have
had the props in reverse.
I think so. It was.
They should both try and pull them the same way and see what happens.
Ben, obviously not impressed. Sorry I let you down. Feel terrible.
Anyway. And thank you for joining us. Have a good night, everybody. Hope to see you back here tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
ABC News and KOMO News 4, recognized as the leader in television news. Tomorrow morning, start your day with Jim Snyder and Sabrina Register at 5 and 6 a.m.